Nice to see you again in this session. I'm going to talk about the Ontario affairs with the MPP, Mr. Rocco.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. The Toronto TV has been meeting the politicians, the political leaders, just to see how they enjoy their life and what they can do for us. Can we start with something like the Ontario government? How do you enjoy your life now, as far as you can tell us? Are you very busy?
Well, we are busy. We are not having a session until March the 22nd, I believe. But in the meantime, we're having lots of meetings. There's a meeting at the constituency office, but it's also a meeting in Queen's Park with people like yourself that are trying to know where we are heading in a number of issues. You may have issues that are important to you.
So what do you think is the most important issue facing the government?
Well, right now it's the budget. We are working on the budget. That we have had a number of sessions all over Ontario. I sat at the three at Queen's Park, where many professions, many lobbying groups, would that be unions, business people, chamber of commerce, that type of individuals have come to lobby for their beliefs, basically to tell us what they believe is important, that the budget coming at the end of March, that the Minister of Finance, Sorbara, is putting together, that we understand their needs and wants, and so that's part of what we are doing.
What do you think is the top priority for these people?
Well, if you talk with the business community, they want to balance the books. If you talk with the social activists, they are saying that we should do all we said, in other words, spend money in social services, in education, in health, in taking care of our transportation system, deal with the criminal activities that are taking place, add additional policing. That's what the social activists are asking. And of course, the business community, the people who look at the bottom line are saying, you shouldn't do that. You should balance the books. You should try to lower the taxes so that more corporations will
I don't think you can please everybody.
Of course not.
So, in your opinion, what will be your top priority?
Well, I believe that we should respond to some degree to the education, to health, and to transportation.
Can we talk about education?
Sure.
Yeah. What do you think will be people asking for and you cannot give because you don't have sufficient money?
Well, certainly we cannot provide the 1.6 or the $2 billion or whatever number has been asked for different groups. Those are the big dollars that people have been asking. I don't think we can give all it this year. I think that what we can do is, as we have already done, provided over $100 million already, we can continue that so that slowly, before the 4 years are over, we will be able to reach the number that we indicated we would. So we can allocate some funding, hundreds of millions of dollars in education. The same thing will apply, in my opinion, to the health area. We have a number of seniors that lately the media has paid a little more attention, and probably so. We have seen our seniors being abused in the nursing homes. We have seen that they have not been taken care of properly. There is also the hospitals have significant deficits all over the province, and I think that we have to respond to that to some degree. And surely we must provide the 2 cents per liter of gas. We have to provide some, if not all of it, in our first budget in March to send a message that we need business when it comes to public transportation.
You talk about transportation.
Yes.
I think that in David Miller's consultation process, when he goes around the various neighborhoods in Toronto, people say that transportation and the traffic gridlock is the most important problem. Can you explain and see whether you find the same problem in your constituency?
Well, let's not only I
agree
in my constituency, I agree, but I believe it's a GTA problem, Greater Toronto Area. In fact, the poll done not only in Toronto or in Vaughan or in Markham, but in York, in Durham, in Peel, and so on, they all indicated that the highest priority is public transportation.
How do you solve the problem?
It is very simple. First of all, we have 2 things to do. First of all, allocate more money, and number 2, create what I consider, the Greater Toronto Area Transportation Committee. whatever you want to call it, whereby we have people representing the regions within the GTA, and that group will decide the priorities where the money will be invested. Will they be invested in subway or busing or lanes only for public transportation or something along those lines? There is a number of ways that we can invest money, and we have to determine which one is the best one. There is ways of building transportation system that is more expensive.
We are talking about something now.
Yes.
Is it possible to give your priority? If you are going to solve the transportation problem, if you don't have sufficient money, so how are you going to meet the problem, tackle this problem?
That's what we're talking about. We know we will not have enough money, but we have to put some money. And I'm saying that is
Where is
one.
the money?
Well, the money comes from the money that you and I pay.
Yeah.
We know that there is a major deficit, so we have to try to, in fact, cut costs instead of adding costs. The problem is that we can't cut costs because there's no way that we should, because there is people out there who said that we expect funding, additional funding, education, as we did indicate, and health, and transportation, and so on, and policing. There is significant criminal activities going on all over the Greater Toronto area. Just read the newspaper every day. There is shooting all over the place. We have to add additional policing.
But if transportation is the top priority, and you agree that is the top priority, do you? If it is the top priority,
to me it is. But there is other areas
where
it's
you
not.
have to fight for what you believe. Can you make sure that if you continue to make sure that priority will be given the attention to transportation, even though you don't have sufficient money, you have still to have to face the problem?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
Yeah.
We are going to give some, not all, money this year. And every year we are going, in my opinion, of course I'm not the Minister of Finance, I'm not the Premier, but that is my understanding. That is what I believe, and this is what I'm going to argue with my colleagues, that we should put some money this year in public transportation. The same thing applies to education and health. The question is, we can't put all the dollars into this area. We can put some, so that we will be financially responsible to some degree, but at the same time, we are giving leadership. In other words, we're putting some extra money in areas that we know it's necessary. Again, public transportation.
So what about the situation now? We have a lot of congestion, and also the highway situation. Are you happy with the situation that the government is dealing with this highway operation?
With the 407? Oh, of course not. The 407 is
so
not.
Tell us more about the 407 and then how are you going to make the situation better?
Well, the 407 is not going to cost us any money, so we don't have to worry about balancing the books on it. What we should do, though, is make clear to the 407 and their consultant that we are not prepared to allow them to increase the rates and abuse what Ontarians, in fact, owned prior to 99. I believe that it's a conviction that we have and that we should stick to it, and that's how it's all the 407. It's all going to cost money.
How come they don't follow your advice? What can you do on behalf of the citizens' interest?
It's open for discussion. We believe that we can force them not only not to increase the rates, but also to lower the rates. They are saying that we can't, and that's why we're in court. So right now we are debating the issue. There's a number of people on both sides trying to find a solution to the problem. There's also we have been in court, as you already know. And unfortunately, it seems that we will end up there, and that's where the decision will be made. And at the end of the day, I believe that we will have a better deal for Ontarians without costing us money.
Yes. Can you tell us about the situation between your government and the federal government in terms of helping the provincial government? In what way you think the federal government can help your government?
Surely, I think that the federal government can certainly allocate some of their surplus to the provinces, because we know that money are needed in public transportation. So the first thing that Alto could do is at least match the money that we provide at the provincial level and give it to the municipal level. So if we give it 2 pennies per liter, so should the federal government. Now the Fed said they will do it. It's just that we have to try to, in fact, make a deal with them.
What about health? Health is a very important situation.
Yes.
And you don't have sufficient money for health. You cannot improve the situation like the waiting list of these people.
Change it to
Can you say a few words about this?
Surely. I mean, we are going to put some money, but I think the feds, the federal government also should put some extra money. And I think they will. They already committed $2 billion, as you know. And I think that because they are doing much better financially, we can certainly look at the feds with some potential for additional funding. It's a matter of communicating with the Prime Minister better, and I think it's happening. But you know, you don't write a $2 billion check the day after you get elected. It takes a number of weeks and months to make deals because you have to agree. Provincial governments have to agree with the feds in a formula whereby money are allocated. I think we are moving in that direction. I feel comfortable that the feds will welcome it.
Thank you, Mr. Rector. One more short question. I understand that the situation for the Liberal Party in the federal level is having a hard time facing the auditor's report. Is it going to cause some damage for the Liberal Party at the provincial level too?
It will, hopefully very small, and it's not our jurisdiction, it's not us, but people on the street, they don't associate, they associate us together. So we will be losing some points, in my opinion, but in the long run, everybody will understand who did what and who's responsible. We haven't done nothing, it's not our responsibility. None of us at the provincial level have anything to do with what's happening at the federal level, except that we are the same family, the same party.
You are the same family. You bear the same name.
Yes.
And if the image of the Liberal Party is tarnished, there will be some spillover.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is going to happen, and it's my job and my party job at the provincial level to speak to people like yourself and make sure that you understand more than what you do today, that in fact it's not us. In the long run, my taxpayers are more intelligent than the average politician, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they will understand it. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah, we appreciate our conversation. I think it's a very good way to have a dialogue between the government and the citizens. And I'm one of the citizens, and I enjoy talking to you. Thank you very much.
Invite me any day. I'll be happy to be here.
We'll try to meet more political leaders in the future and try to communicate to our audience through their sort of intimate and sort of insiders' view about their life and their issues and everything. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Thank you again. Thank you for having me here.